blankets and water. Just send your cash.
I've checked it out a couple of times, and I would recommend all our friends and fans do give them a listen. They do such great work, and I'm really proud and, again, grateful to be able to be a part of the show.
It's all right. If it makes you feel better, I'll say hi to the people. Yeah. So the beautiful people know who I am. Why don't you tell them who you are?
My name is Ted Mountouri. I'm a singer, guitar player, and bassist.
I'm going to figure that's your government name.
Yeah.
So there's no weird, how did you come up with the name? How long have you been making music?
Let's see. Technically since I was a teenager, but I'm a late bloomer. I didn't get into bands playing consistently until I was probably about 40, so figure like 10, 11 years ago.
Hey, we all start somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you from Connecticut?
No, I'm originally from New York City.
I can hear it.
Yeah, originally from Brooklyn, and I moved up to Connecticut about a little over 16 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an adopted brother. He spent a good 5 years in Coney Island, so I'm kind of familiar with that.
Check it out.
There you go!
Never forget where you came from.
So you said you played bass?
Yeah, I play bass in a party rock band called Snafu. And I also sing and do acoustic stuff by myself. I was doing that for years, and I was still living in New York City.
Okay.
Played some solo acoustic shows by myself when I was down there. Then things happened, job happened, whatever.
Yeah, life.
Yeah, life happened basically, and but I switched over to bass while still doing acoustic stuff by myself, and now this is my first solo acoustic show since 2000, so 23 years.
The COVID, if you will.
Yeah.
How would you describe your sound?
My sound, personally singing by myself, I like to refer to it as Lounge Lizard from Hell. It's I get a really deep voice,
yep.
And I do solo acoustic stuff, but I don't, I don't do Ed Sheeran. If anything, I just try to put my own personality into it. It's with this kind of a voice, it's hard to sing Steve Perry.
I can hear the bass.
Yeah, so I end up singing stuff an octave lower. I make songs my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually cool.
Yeah.
So all covers or any?
Yeah, all covers. I haven't done original stuff since, like I said, about 2000, 2001. About that, yeah.
Okay. How did you get started again?
I started in high school just worshiping rock bands and metal bands that were huge at the time, like late 80s, early 90s, and my voice can't handle that kind of material, so slowly over the years I started trying to develop my own style. It's one of the reasons why I got into playing bass, was to get into a band, because this voice has a hard time singing Ozzy.
That voice goes with the bass guitar pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I like to think so, yeah.
What's your creative process?
Listening to a song, as far as learning songs, I like to dissect the song. I like to, I have a little jazz theory under my belt, and some classical as well. So what I like to do is add some jazz extensions to songs, listen to a straightforward rock song and turn it into like a country song.
Cool.
So yeah, I like to pick apart songs and try to envision them as far putting them in another genre.
Yeah, jazz I think is cool, and blues, because they kind of encompass a lot of different genres.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you could kind of master those two, you could kind of curtail things into a lot of other different genres, if you will.
Yes.
Do you have any pre-show rituals? It could be Liquid Courage. It could be
hookers and blow.
That works.
No, just basic breathing exercises, drink water, hydrated, a lot of that stuff.
No one says breathing techniques, and that's actually very important.
Yeah.
So I've been I quit smoking maybe for 2 weeks, and I'm trying to get a little bit better job, and actually that's actually what's been getting me through it, is breathing techniques. You'd be surprised how much that can actually help and calm the mind, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could work with anybody, who would it be?
Man. As far as rock, living, dead?
Dead or alive, anything, yeah. You're number one or two people that, like, if you're going to form a little band for tonight.
I'd say Joe Pass. Joe Pass, famous guitar player, just absolute master virtuoso. I freaking love his playing. He's up there for me. John Pizzarelli too, phenomenal sick guitar player, really really good. Yeah.
How would you like your music to be remembered? I know it's kind of hard when I ask that question because we're not like mainstream artists, if you will, but would you like people to kind of remember you for your live performances, the songs themselves?
Yeah, the live performances. I'd like to be remembered as somebody who was original enough to put their own spin on whatever songs they're doing. That's a big deal for me because I can be, depending on the material, I can be a live jukebox and just, oh, you want to hear this song? Boom, let's do it. Or I could get a female singer and she could sing a ton of stuff that I probably can't, but it's, I guess I want to be remembered as somebody being original, somebody who did a really good job at interpreting music. Maybe not necessarily being a great virtuoso as far as guitar player and a singer, but somebody who was able to interpret material really well.
I like how you already said before, how you'll take something and maybe sing it in some notes lower and stuff like that.
Right.
That's very creative.
Yeah.
What kind of guitar or bass do you play?
I just have a D'Angelico regular 6-string acoustic electric guitar.
I get nerdy because I'm into gear.
Yeah, I'm not. It was. It looks like a nice arch top. It was $500. I was able to get it cheap with some trade-ins, but it looks like an arch top, and I love arch tops. Just love the way that they look. But this one looks like an arch top, but it doesn't cost nowhere nearly as much as one. So I made out good on that.
Gear could be expensive.
Yes, it can. Yeah.
And I don't think it makes the artist, if you will, like this camera isn't for say the best camera in the world, but it's how you edit,
That's true. Yeah.
How do you think? All right. So acoustically, what are some of the challenges that an acoustic person might face without a band? Obviously, you're up there by yourself.
Volume, speed. It's very easy when you're playing with the drummer to get and lock in with the drummer and go the speed that the drummer is doing, which a lot of drummers rush. Let's face it.
Yes.
That just is what it is. So the volume, the speed, and that's something I've had to cope with a lot over the years because I've rushed at times as a bass player, rushed at times as a rhythm guitar player. But yeah, the way to get around that, I know it sounds nerdy, but again, work with a metronome.
Oh, that's big.
That's absolutely huge for me.
It's huge for a lot, and people don't use the metronome.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps you honest.
It does.
Humble.
And the drummer sometimes, like you said, a lot of people sometimes get lost in what the drummer's doing. Their loudness, if you will, kind of takes away. So I'm a music producer by trade, if you will, and I always say, if we can get the bands that are loud, they call it loud, to do some acoustic stuff, I think it would be cool. And then vice versa, sometimes you get the acoustic guy to maybe do the louder version. But it's harder, to me, to do the acoustic version. So once you can master the acoustic version, I think you really nailed something being up there by yourself.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, it's very much a vibe to be able to do something that's like heavy, loud, and fast, and then say, all right, we're going to take a completely different approach. It's kind of like what Zakk Wylde did with Stillborn, his acoustic version of Stillborn. Completely different song in so many respects, minus the lyrics. He was able to just take that and completely reshape it. And I love that. I love it.
Yes. I end the interview a little with two crazier questions. Now that it's in the news, it kind of wrecks it, but I'm not gonna change it. Do you believe in aliens?
Do I believe in aliens? Absolutely, yeah.
It wrecks it now that the government's saying there's aliens.
Yeah.
But
if find out there's aliens, it's like find out that water is wet. Hello? It is, yeah.
Speaking of wet, do you sing in the shower, and is that considered practice?
I do warm-ups in the shower sometimes. And it's I recently moved to a new place where I have a window for the shower, so I don't want to be too loud. I
like it because it's almost like being in a booth.
Yes. Yeah. I do like singing in the bathroom, but not necessarily the shower. There were a few recordings I had when I was much younger, when I couldn't afford studio time, and I would be in the bathroom about half the size of this room.
See?
And just
It's almost like you're being in a booth, if you will, and the water, I think, sometimes does a little something. And, where can everybody find your work?
I do have my own YouTube channel, which is just Ted Mountouri. You could also
spell it, because it's important for people.
Yeah, first name Ted, T-E-D. Last name Mountouri, M-O-N-T-U-O-R-I. Am I looking in the camera or looking at you?
You can look wherever you want. The camera, me. I'm kind of trying to be behind the camera, so it's kind of one and the same.
Yeah. Also on Facebook, I post my stuff up there. Sometimes friends bands, I'll or anything that's good. My friend is doing a performance, I'll put that on my YouTube channel just to give him a quick shout out, and then post it on my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook as well. Instagram, Teddy Thunder. I'm sorry, Teddy Thunder 860. And that's it.
Teddy Thunder, I like it.
Yeah.
So you're going to be performing covers today?
Yes.
And anything unique?
I'd like to think everything is unique. I'm covering Journey to Rocky Horror Picture Show to Van Morrison.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we were looking forward to that, sir. That's awesome. Ted, thanks for coming up and spending a little time with us. Everybody, please go check him out. Thanks for coming along, brother, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.